Hello, hello.
Hello, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome. It's great to have you guys back on the second episode. Is it second, are we?
Yeah, most likely.
No, if I have the math wrong, just forgive me. Allow, okay? But welcome back. My name is Joanna, but you can call me Jo, if you like. Actually, no, you should call me Jo.
Now, wow, you're fighting with them, oh. Anyway, my name is Oluwatoyin for short. I've said this before, I will always say it. And we have a guest.
Normally. You know, I think I should start ad-libbing when you speak.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
you have a guest. Guest.
Yeah.
Or type.
Type shit. As our director will say. Yeah. So today, don't worry, I'll put his name at the end so that you will not know. But if you know his face, that's fine. Anyway, today we have a globally certified human resource professional, a capacity builder. Mm-hmm. This is where you be saying gay. Allow. I'm warming up. An employability skill trainer.
Woohoo!
With a background in economics and cross-sectional thought leadership experience in HR.
You don't mean it.
You put it there, his name is there now, I'll say it. But Faith has worked in major names Faith has worked with major names in unique industries like Big Cabal Media as the head of talent management.
Okay.
Career-wise, where he was the lead people culture. This guy was serious.
Is it my very
Hey,
very obviously.
As in General Electric, a Fortune 500 company, where he managed different people and processes that accelerated the attainment of business goals and objectives.
Okay.
Only you, Faith.
They said that's me. Sorry.
No, wait, I'm not done, no.
What?
I'm not done. Even you are surprised, right? Okay. Last year, he launched HR Clinic, an initiative focused on providing people-centric advisory to startup founders, NGO founders, SME owners. He also launched Luminous Consult, a career hub focused on scaling career solutions for individual and businesses.
Sorry, round up, but please, can you send me your resume template? I don't want to see something.
That's what me
No,
I have to copy it because only
asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Yes.
No, I'm not asking for a friend. This is me. I'm my friend.
No, I see they also like Ogunle.
Thank you. But yes,
brother,
let's welcome Emmanuel Faith.
welcome.
Hi, everybody. They have bribed me with tea and coffee, but I like the mug. It's so cute.
Stop. You're making us shy on the podcast. Stop.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Emmanuel Faith. I'm super delighted to be here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So yes, before we start, there's one thing we always like to do, because even if the tea did not warm you up, we have to break the ice.
I don't warm up.
We have to break the ice. Okay, so
I still like this.
like this. But don't worry, after this. So pick a number from 1 to 15.
7.
Is that a lucky number?
Mama, I don't get lucky number.
You are asking people if
I know. I just the big numbers.
change your number.
As the spirit brings.
Oh yeah, now.
Okay. So I have a question for you.
Yeah,
We're doing Never Have I Ever.
okay.
Remote work edition.
Okay.
So, never have I ever slept in a meeting.
No, I haven't slept in a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. My last 2 roles are lead roles, right? So, I try not to put meetings in time that is not convenient for me. In the last 2 companies that worked, only the management can fix a meeting for me before 10 a.m.
Okay.
Everybody knows that I cannot take meetings before 10 a.m. Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Yes, so
Oh my God.
I'm either going to be on the meeting or not going to be on the meeting. Even if I have to put my leg inside water, I've never slept
Fair enough.
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Can you say the same?
I've never slept in a meeting.
At all?
Nope.
Wow, you guys are nice.
I've never.
Yes. But it's not from my mouth to hear that.
Yeah, I've actually never slept in a meeting. What meeting would that be? Never. Actually, because I'm quite talkative, so talk.
Yeah, that's also the yes. I'm also very energetic, so I'm that guy that will actually sort of make the meeting exciting and stuff. So
yeah. Okay, so second one, because we have about 4.
Okay.
Never have I attended a meeting with shirt on, like a virtual meeting with shirt on and no pants.
No, I always if you had said pants on and no shirts, yes. Shirt, I always that part is very important. I mean, if video goes up, I see my chest. I mean, I'm handsome, I'm hairy.
Oh wow!
But I can't always that bad. So I always actually wear.
Fair enough.
Wear.
Okay, next one. Never have I ever blamed network connectivity issues to avoid a question in a virtual meeting.
So I've never also done that.
You know, as a lead, if you want asking the question.
So I feel like there's a lot of responsibility on you, right? So then half of the times, like 50 to 75% of the times, I'm often prepared for meetings, right? So again, I would rather not.
The remaining 50 to 25%.
But I don't blame network. I can say, oh please come again.
Fair enough.
But not network, yeah.
Okay, last one. I love this one.
As you have loved,
Never have I ever said, oh, I'm working on the project, only to realize that I need access to the documents later.
Not all done it.
Finally, what have we all done?
Have we not all done it? Yeah, so it's interesting because this has only happened to me once, and it was a finance related work. So you know, of course, we will talk about my career and all that. So you know, my role is HR, right? So there are things that I do not like. So it was a payroll related stuff. We are doing tax audits, personal income tax audits. And it was, I don't know how the finance manager managed to drop it on my desk, right? So I was not happy to do the job.
Fair enough.
So when she realized, yeah. So I think it was like, she was reaching out on Friday and the tax audit was Monday. So after meeting, I just said, kindly grant access to this file. After I said on the corner, I'm working on it. But the good thing is, like, I know numbers, like I know payroll. So
I know numbers, God.
I didn't go to
That's not you.
I had to spend Saturday and Sunday in the office. Hopefully, we don't have to talk about that.
What? Sorry?
I had to spend Saturday and Sunday in the office to get the work done. Yeah, so.
I mean, but that was your doing.
Yeah, that was my
So
dream.
it's your fault. Carry it.
Partially.
And you were leading this role, yeah?
Yeah.
And sorry.
That's my responsibility. I'm sharing. These are people who are leading them. Anyway.
Sorry. Okay, so now we're going to talk about your early days, early childhood, just to kind of figure out why you decided HR. Like, it's not everybody that just wakes up and says, I want to be putting my matter in, chicken my mouth in everybody's business, right?
Is that why you people take HR?
Wait, relax. But like, I want to know if you were a people person. Were you always facing the HR side, even when you were younger?
Okay, so yeah, that's a very interesting question. Now that you asked what happened when I was younger, I don't know how younger I should go. So I'm just going to start from secondary school. So of course, secondary school was a commercial class. I was in science class first, right? And then I moved to commercial class. And then after school, I was supposed to study at canteen. I passed JAM. Don't look at me like that. Yes, I passed JAM. I passed my post JAM too. But I was writing the wrong combination of subjects, and I did not even know. So
the whole year.
I hope that So I hope that nonsense doesn't happen anymore. So there was this nonsense that used to happen where UTME has their own requirements, school has their own requirements.
Yes.
Yeah, if I know the year that I finally got admission, I know a lot of people that got admission into economics, but because they wrote the wrong combination, they had to move to economics education. And like that was just ridiculous to me because their career and life literally changed because of ridiculous stuff like that. So I've written accounting twice and I didn't get in. So it was my third JAM that I went to. So I went to OAU, right? Because some of my friends had even gained admission. So I used to go to OAU, take lectures for the fun of it, just live student life because I was tired of being the guy that didn't have admission. So
Poor boy.
it was then that I was just in amongst undergraduates, right? So like, so what's your combination? They say that African bio, that kind of thing. So I'm like, I'm writing this.
Sorry,
like,
you can't read.
Sorry.
You can't.
So I'm like, I'm writing this combination. Like, what are you coming to study again? Accounting? Like, you need to big bag you. It means that like this guy has made like a major error. So right there, I went to a cafe, changed my subject combinations, and added government. Now, take note that I never done government like 3 years because I hated government in school. So I had to start reading for government. So that's why I wrote, that year I wrote JAM.
Sorry, wait, cut you. This was before the exam.
Yeah, so this was before the exam.
So it was not after the exam.
Yeah, so it was before the exam.
Like, that is so lucky.
God bless her from Kenawal. She was the one that like said, hey guy, come around if you're tired at all.
You guys will go way back.
Yeah, we go way back. See how you know fellow KK drama fans.
Yes.
Yeah, so I picked economics as an accident because there was literally no other option that could fit into what I was now trying to change import to. So I'm like, okay, what's available? Economics. What do I need to write? Government. So that's how I studied economics. So as I entered school, I thought economics was like just demand and supply. I first enter school and they see
preference, opportunity cost.
That one is okay. It's differentiation and integration that almost finished my life. I'm like, you would not tell me this one.
Anyway, for that math.
I shall also through uni. So my uni days was very interesting. And that probably answers the question about have I always been people. So by the end of some of us, by the end of 100 level, we already know that first class is not for us.
I don't know. You said some of us.
That one said you people, I don't hear some. I not say no, I try not to fall into fallacy of generalization. But honestly, some of us knew at the end of 100 level that first class is for God, it's not for you. so at the end of interestingly, and when I speak to undergraduates, I always say that one of the my major mistakes in uni was I gave up my CGPA trade.
Yes, because it's always 100 level. Yeah.
Because when I was not entering 400 level one day, I actually sat down, something I never done my first 3 years. I actually did the mathematics and saw that I could have still finished with the 2-1.
Yeah.
Despite all the terrible grades. Anyway, so at the end of 100 level, I'm like, economics is boring, but I have the next 3 years to live in this school. And it cannot be boring. I have to make sense of my life. So I started getting into social organizations. I was an ESCO throughout the year, 100 level, 200 level. I was an ESCO in the fellowship. I was an ESCO in the department. I joined social organizations. I said just I joined tax club. I was a friend of SFC. So I'd always been in that role that made me lead people, work with people, collaborate with people. Now an interesting part, and this is a segue to how I now got into HR. By 300 level, I did not know academic book, but I've always been very brilliant.
Yeah, right? I get that.
So I won a lot of competitions too. So there's this competition I won in 200 level that gave me an automatic internship.
Oh,
yeah,
lovely.
Right. So if you start
working from 200,
yeah.
From 100 level. Actually, I worked before I got into secondary school. I did front desk for my dad.
Oh, yeah. Not bad.
People were such in a hurry to.
So it wasn't in a hurry it was just responsibility. And it was also the people around you. So by 200 level in my department, people are already applying to work at Goldman Sachs.
By 100 level in Covenant, you start it is compulsory. You will intern, by the time you intern in 100 level, 200 level, you do your compulsory internship. You just be okay, 300, okay.
Yeah.
Even when I was waiting for NYC, is it mobilization, I'll be called up, I still intern for 2 months.
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of Covenant guys that intern at KPMG. In fact, everybody know KPMG, Covenant, they are hand in hand. Right? So I interned at Meristem and Afri Invest. I was also there at KPMG, that's why I mentioned KPMG and Accenture, but some things happened. So by the time I came back, I'm like, nah, this finance is not for me. So I'm like, okay, but I didn't know what I wanted to do next, right? So there was in 400 level, I won 300 level, I won another competition. So the chairman of the competition was an outgoing FYB person, and she was not a finance person. I'm like, you guys, economics, you're not doing finance. What are you doing? She said, I'm doing HR. Oh, what's that about? Oh, go and research about it. Yeah, so I went to research.
Go and ask Google.
which is really a good way to help people
right
more.
Yeah, so I went to research, came back. I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do to start a career in HR? And that's how I started a career in HR.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That person is such a private, just that conversation, and it changed your life. The direction of your life. That's
Auntie Koyafunta, wherever she is. She's in Germany now.
I love the fact that you keep calling all their names. God bless Koyafunta. Wow.
I love it.
God bless Auntie Koya. I'm like, you know what? I rate it. It's the women. What is about women? We are Let me tell you something about Nigerian women. We are cheap dolls. We are cheap like mad. I love it. Anyway, so you've had significant roles at companies like Big Cabal, Carry Wise, General Electric. What key experiences from these roles have influenced your approach to HR and management? And I mean, we see all these things where people are like, HR is not your friend, and you're always like, what do you guys mean? Is this how you guys are saying? So I understand now that your approach to it is maybe not the most popular style. So let's talk about that.
Okay, very interesting. I like that you asked that. So I started doing HR from before NYC, I worked with a wonderful woman called Aramide Abe.
Another lovely woman.
Yeah.
One thing about women.
No, I know Aramide Abe is, I mean, hopefully you guys get big enough to be able to invite her. Like, she's amazing. I can do you guys an introduction. She had an MBA at INSEAD. You cannot write the story of Nigerian startup community without Aramide Abe. Yeah. So then she ran a community. How it happened, another very interesting thing. So remember, I was like a leader in uni and stuff. So she was supposed to be one of the speakers, and then Nigeria happened. She could not get visa, flights, everything. She had mixed up. So we had to have her virtually. So I was the one that managed the whole media, engineering, everything. That's how I got her contact. So we used to view each other's WhatsApp. So there was time she said she was coming to Nigeria. No, she had an event in Nigeria and needed a volunteer. Like Auntie me. Yeah, so that's how I volunteered with her at first. So when I graduated, she told me that, I see you're smart, can you do this for me? So I started with community management.
Right.
Then I moved to recruitment assistant. Right. So I managed recruitment for the startups in our community. That was like my first interaction with HR. But when I moved to GE, which is where I feel like my HR career, I like to say that I built the roots of my HR career at GE, and the wings and branches spread when I was at CareerWise. So my role at GE was a support role, HR analyst role. That was English, we both it was usually support, and I was supporting everybody. So GE, of course, very normal. So GE is a entrepreneurial company, but I worked with Nigerian branch. I mean, my first manager started in Texas. So I worked with like Nigerian HR. Then I started working with like SSA HR. So that means that I worked with people in Ghana, in Kenya, South Africa, Rwanda at some point. And then I also worked with like HR people outside Africa. So it meant that someone said that like when I was leaving G, someone described me as a sponge. It's like Emmanuel Faith is a sponge, always soaking in knowledge. So I also worked across businesses, even in G. So I worked with healthcare, renewable energy. I think I worked with J Power at some point. So it was a lot of learnings from a lot of people simultaneously. Right. I remember that there's one thing that for example, used to do. There's a woman, her name is a woman. There's a woman. HR, she was the HR business partner. Now I think she's a country or even regionalized or something. But then she was HR business partner in Nigeria and HR business partner J Power from South Africa. Her name is Bethel Manner. When she comes into the office, so G was like 3 floors. She would walk to every desk and say hi.
Wow.
I noticed you did that when you came in, where you did was really come to say hi to me. Let me say hi to crew. I liked that.
Yes, like that it was unconscious, but like he sent me a message. And she don't just say hi, she say, hi, you wanna how was that exam that you took? Or did it go well? Hi Toyin, how was your uncle's party? First, how did you even know about this thing, about these people? And like it just, that kind of interaction is very pivotal because you are then able to have like work-related conversation. When you are saying, you didn't meet your targets, it doesn't sound like a witch. Because it's like someone that you have a relationship with tell you that, you didn't meet your targets, what do we need to do together? Right? So just, and I think that's what has helped me in all my roles. Like, I was answering I think it was a podcast with a consumer yesterday, and it was like, someone resigned suddenly on you. Like, no, it has never happened. Because before the management knew, I would know. As of my time, they are putting 1 month's notice, I'm just laughing. Because I probably knew that the start was even like 3 months before. So that bit, that personal, establishing like personal relationship with people and let people know that even when you are making decisions that does not favor them, you have their best interest in mind. That's one from a soft skill perspective. And then from an hard skill perspective, because again, I work with different people. So I'm doing talent management with this HR in Nigeria. I'm doing employer branding with this HR in Port Harcourt. I'm doing maybe performance management with this HR in Rwanda. So like I was working simultaneously across different functions for different people. So by the time I got into CareerWise, where I was the lead, it was actually everything I had learned come to life. So I think that's, I cannot write my HR journey. No matter what, I don't have any companies I will work with before I leave capitalism. I used to in capitalism. I know that shit.
I do be.
Yes,
so. Okay. Yeah,
so. I've switched lanes.
Right? So I don't have many companies I will work with before I leave capitalism. I'm putting out there, I'm leaving capitalism.
I hold you to it. Millionaires should not exist.
No, I would go into like my passion projects, like women football and all that. So like G will always be like a very pivotal part of my HR
I can really hear how that, played into your perspective, like how you choose to deploy, your task and do things that you're supposed to do as a
even like HR
professional. Yeah, makes sense.
Interesting. I think it's so interesting how people can just change you. Like, you just interact with them for it's so
sometimes just even
I'm not even sure that
light.
metals this.
Yes, just doing your thing sometimes shines such a bright light. I said it's that like a lot of, if someone says I am kind today, that there's a lot of me just looking at, oh wow, you can do that as an act of love to someone. Maybe I need to add that to my repertoire of skills. Do you get it's so transformative to be around people who are living well, because it shows up on you.
So interesting. Well, back to HR now. HR.
It's not like we're
But so now this is more for people who want to move to more mid and senior roles, more senior roles, right? So what do you think is the difference between like the junior roles and then the more senior roles, right? What are the skills? What are the major differences?
What would you be looking for? That would be a differentiating factor, that like someone came to you and said, I feel like I've been stuck in this junior role for the last 2 years, and I don't know, I just feel like I have all the hard skills or whatever. I don't know, like what else is missing?
Okay, you guys want to make me do HR masterclass? I wanted to say I would time myself. Okay, so pretty much interesting. The difference between like junior role and senior role is strategy. And I like to put this disclaimer out there that as you have listened, I didn't have the conventional HR. Like strategy. A lot of people do junior for like 2-3 years. I mean, now I'm currently job searching and like I'm seeing roles. So I see role. First I see the remuneration and I'm like, nah, this is not
so real.
And then I now see like the to do. I'm like, I've done this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you get?
Yeah.
So my story is like very, very unique. But generally, most people start at their HR like just doing admin stuff, admin and operations, right? And so the major difference is really operations versus strategy. So I would give 2 illustrations. Again, this happened this week when I interviewed with the company. So they created a scenario and then like I responded. So it was a case, there was a talent that was on probation. Right. I made the talent on probation. So I did probation, he failed his probation by the way. A junior HR, the next step is to let the staff go.
Yeah.
A senior HR is thinking, 1, what role is this person? 2, do I have to let this person go? 3, what is the succession planning? Succession planning means that what are the people, do we have people that can replace it?
Yes.
If no, how can we get, so there's something called knowledge transfer in HR. How soon can we get all the knowledge that he has? Interestingly, it was like a sales role. Right, so all his leads, all his pipeline, how do we get that transferred? Lastly, do I actually want to let him go if it will take me another 30 days to find another person?
Yes, what do we lose in that time?
And then take another 30 days to onboard the person. Instead of spending that 2 months, can I give him extra 2 months to prove himself?
Yeah.
Which is what I did in that scenario. Which now came true. I mean, he literally won the staff of the quarter like 6 months after expiration.
Interesting.
That's literally the difference between senior and junior.
Yeah.
Junior think operations, like senior think strategy. Another thing is that senior always like partner with business.
Snap your finger. You should say that point.
I hope you don't get to the poetry part of it. Yeah, so senior also like partners with like business leaders.
I was about to make a silly poetry joke. So in the still of my heart,
I'm
in the middle of the night.
Oh
God. Yes, so senior also like partner act like very business centric. That's why we have roles like HR business partner. Right, so they are saying this is the direction that the business is going. How can I align people's strategy? For example, you see a company say, oh, now I want to do an internship program. They do not just wake up and feel good. It's a strategy. They are either trying to enhance their employer branding. They want more people to know about them. If you put out an undergraduate internship, you are reaching like millions of students.
Yes.
Even if it's 400 people that you take, 40,000 people now know your name.
Yeah.
Right? Companies do not just wake up and say, I want to be campus ambassadors program. We are not that nice.
Yeah.
It's an employer branding strategy. So that's a senior. We want to do a graduate training program. We want to revise our compensation strategy. We now want more people to be able to do their stock to cash as against waiting for 4 years.
Yeah.
They are trying to cop something. People are traveling.
Yeah.
Okay. What about we? Instead of waiting till 4 years, how about you're able to? There's a company junior right now, by the way, I will not mention it. It's very top.
Can whisper to
Yeah, they're trying to enhance your retention rate.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they're not doing so. You can now, instead of waiting till 4 years to vest. But I'm saying next week, give them a so I will not. But you cannot convert like your stock and like equity to cash at the end of the year. That's the retention strategy. So I have 50,000 units in stock, but if I convert it, I know I'm getting like 12k USD.
Yeah.
That's not for me to immediately travel abroad. So maybe 12k USD extra. Right? Yeah. So just those high level strategy implementation. That's what differentiates senior from like junior roles. So if you're a junior person, start thinking. So they asked me to do this talent recruitment. When I'm done, can I create a data report? Can I say this is the trend I noticed from this? So for our next recruitment, I suggest we do this. Can you start thinking the strategy bit of the operational work that you do?
Yeah.
I think that does.
And I think this cuts across beyond just, you being a HR professional, because this also makes sense in terms of like, let's say a software engineer that's a junior versus like a senior, like there's
why you writing this code, what's the design?
Yeah, so it's no longer you being think about it like you being like a mercenary, almost like you're the hands, you just do like, oh okay, take this one, I'm gonna do take this one. You have to go beyond being a hand to being a brain.
To think about the structure. It's more like responsibility, and you're just taking ownership of that part of a business. That's so interesting.
The other thing though, like I think is like the other side of the coin to this particular, point is in doing this, I feel like we think that it's a no-brainer that like when you make these like sort of high-level calls in a junior role, like it will be automatically visible. But yes, I have a question about that. Like, what would you do? What do you need to do to optimize for visibility that ends up in you transitioning?
Very good.
Yeah.
That's a very brilliant question. You are smart.
Wow.
My posts are very brilliant. Please come and buy their stock early.
Thank you.
Listing on New York Stock Exchange.
Listen now.
Come and invest in
WTMG.
Okay, so that's a very brilliant question. So, and even like that was the lesson I also had to pick up at G. So very interesting stuff. Yeah. So I worked on a project and won an award. But again, remember I was reporting to multiple managers. I had my line manager. So my line manager sat on the award.
Of course, that happens.
And said that you people, the person that are giving the award, is not doing my own job. Right? And so remember that she sits in Texas. So that's like how 3 of my HRs in Nigeria. Auntie, we don't know what's up, but Emmanuel Faith that we know in G Lagos is one of our best entry level talent, right? You guys should sit down, align your KPIs to ensure that he's not missing out on his major assignments. But over here in Nigeria is our superstar, right? And that happens because of many things that we later learn. But the takeaway is one is naturally document. One is know who your important stakeholders are. Which is going to take me to the next level, and how do I buy? Sometimes your team lead is not your stakeholder.
Yes.
You probably have heard like the term career sponsor. Yes. Sometimes there is someone else. In particular illustration, there's one of my friends, she's not in Canada. When she was at she did her NYC at KPMG, and she was, of course, when you're trying to like get retained, it's like battle, right? And so one of the things I used to reference her when I'm quoting like skills and stuff. One of the things that stood her out was that she was very bad at presentations. Like, if she does presentation, you would think that it's Figma. Right? So she was always doing presentation for people, even outside her department. By the time time was up, our department could not retain her. Not even because she was not good, but there was just like, there was limited budgets. 2 other departments were fighting for her. Because like she kept on doing work that was like visible to other stakeholders, even outside our department. Flip side is I also have a friend who entered the Bank of America, and was it Bank of America? Yeah, it was Bank of America, and she was.
See, I picked on these names because I was finding.
So she was interning, and she was a law student. She was interning in finance, stockbroking, so she did like numbers, right? And what she kept on saying is, I love my work, but numbers is frustrating. And so she was unconsciously like passing a message. Guess what? Towards the end, so there's a program, there is like a competition that all of them do, right? So towards the end, it was like 6th week. I think they do the presentation like end of 7th week for an 8-week program. And I think I got the highest mark and she had the highest presentation. For context, she's from OAU and she was competing with people that did BSc at Yale, Harvard, Oxford, everything. And it was like a moment of like, oh, so I'm this smart. But guess what? It was too late. Because all the people that could have retained her, she had unconsciously. So, of course, our team could not retain her because there was limited budget.
Yeah.
But there were genuine partners that were interested in, oh my God, you studied law and you can speak finance like this. But because it was already too late to make that decision, just because of the unconscious body language that she had passed across. So, know who your stakeholders are. And the second part is, of course, like document your wins.
Yes.
Document the things you are doing and always think about how what you are doing today aligns to the business goals. Yeah, it's very important to be able to tie what you do every day. You know, there's someone that says, if I'm sweeping the room, if I'm sweeping the office, how does it tally to the business goals? I just be able
you write it on LinkedIn, so I take charge of the atmosphere, ensuring that there are no distractions.
You create a productivity optimized environment.
That's what That's what you're Can I just shift your garment to this?
You can touch it.
That was too smooth and too fast.
Eventually you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something true.
Wow. You know what? I have another really important question. Do you want to start, advance, or switch to a career in tech?
You can learn the skills you need to become successful when you apply into the Old School Africa program.
Old School Africa has a variety of code and no-code programs like front-end engineering, back-end engineering, data science, data analysis, cybersecurity, product design, product marketing, and so many other programs.
That was a nice list. Classes are fully virtual, so you can learn anywhere. Tuition is affordable. There's an incredible community of learners ready to welcome and support you. And you can also earn a diploma at the end of the 12 months program.
So if this sounds interesting to you, you can get more information about available programs and how to apply at www.oldschoolafrica.com. When it comes to assessing or ensuring a candidate's alignment with the company's cultures and values, especially for more senior roles, I know we've touched on it, but like you now as a person, you have someone that has maybe demonstrated what's that thing called? Track record. And all of these things. Are there any specific qualities that are maybe intangible? Because track record is relatively tangible. You know, all of these things. Are there any attributes or traits that you are specifically looking for that you believe are most crucial for success in those types of positions?
So this is a tricky question, especially when it comes to like culture and stuff. One, especially for senior roles. So one is, depending on the kind of role, there's some role, of course, those senior roles require like total ownership. But there are some roles that actually require, we call it managerial acumen. Yeah, so how diplomatic can you be? How responsive are you to situations that you did not expect? One of the most very interesting interviews that I've had, like recently, was with BCG. So the final round was with the president of BCG Nigeria and the head of recruitment of BCG Sub-Saharan Africa. And like they asked me very intelligent questions. Like, of course I didn't get the job. But I mean, so I got a feedback from my both of them actually liked me. And for me that was like the biggest feedback of the year. The mean that both of them liked me. Wow. No, you actually they liked you a lot.
Was there a specific reason?
So it was a specialist role. And my role so the fan song was a specialist. But like, that's what I'm going. So the kind of questions that they asked me, I'm like, I know what you guys are testing for. So like, how do you react to emergency? When things are not going your way, how do you react? That's one part. The second part is collaboration. So people always watch out for people that use I versus people that use we. Or I worked with, I led versus I did. Because at senior, there are some things that you will do. But there are some things that you led people to do. You coordinated people to do. And the
versus just taking
all the glory.
I get that completely. And it's so subliminal, but it's there.
Very, very pivotal. And then I think the last is just general vibe check.
Because sometimes it's just like, what's going on?
Do you get? And like, it's very minor. It might be as I think it was another interview, won't talk complete that. So because the liked me a lot, she actually gave me feedback. She's like, hey, like I love when you speak but you gesticulate too much.
I think there's a particular
I love when people are animated, so I don't mind. But I have an issue when non-problematic body language becomes a problem for people. Personally, I don't.
So some people find it distracting. Like I was so glad that she gave me that feedback. Because so you won't be surprised that like you might have, you didn't make it to the next stage. Why? Because you were gesticulating too much.
There was a particular scenario where the person said, "Oh, the person you're going to be talking to is an American, but as a Nigerian, when you're excited, you speak so fast. If you don't tone it down, they can't hear you." Yes. And that was very important because in the next interview, I definitely slowed down and
so that
it helped me get the job. But it was because they liked the vibe, my vibe, that they gave me that feedback.
So these very minute things. I was at the fintech operators very recently, and someone was talking about why they didn't hire, a very senior person, senior legal counsel, and she was like, it was the CEO of the fintech. She was like the person was technically sound. But they kept on saying something is off. Something is off. So the final stage was with the CEO.
Yeah.
So after the call, the CEO just said, "Oh, hi, we are not hiring this person."
Wow.
She was like, "We've done 4 interviews."
Yeah.
And the CEO now responded like, "Did you notice that every time you asked a question, he looked at me to answer?"
Yeah, so it was he had a subconscious bias against the women.
God bless you.
Yeah.
So
and he wasn't even aware.
That's the most
I think that's the painful part. The fact that you don't even
realize
that this is what someone is checking. So very minor, but
that makes sense. I'm just like this question. My next question is not actually on my list, but I'm just thinking like vibe check. But that's so, and I understand it because I trust my intuition about people.
Yeah.
But how do you, as a HR professional, how do you guard against the halo? Versus
That's a very valid question.
Because it's like, oh yeah, I mean the vibes, but like, how do you know that you're just not giving someone a fair chance?
Very good question. I wrote a LinkedIn. So I have a LinkedIn newsletter now.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote a blog post about recruitment bias.
Yeah.
So halo effect, on effect, recency, all that. Why do you think that for final stages of interview there is always at least 2 people?
At least 2, okay. Yeah.
So it's literally to get like a balanced view.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so in fact sometimes for some companies, for example at CarryWise, we intentionally bring in someone that was not in all the previous stages.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that hey, you were not married, so come and join this final one. And then there's just a way that again because of the caliber of people, for example when I was at CarryWise, there's someone we used to call CarryWise culture custodian. She was this, I think she's still the CX lead, right? She's like I think the 3rd employee or the 4th employee in the company. So she literally knows people that would thrive and people that would not thrive. So there is really no interview that happens, especially for senior roles, that anyone does not join because she's just like that little check. So
and she doesn't
maybe she has both.
And it's a very valid I get that.
Yeah, so it's always you always have at least 2 people. Some people do 3, some people do 4. It's just to have like a balanced POV to ensure that there is not an unconscious bias somewhere.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
Now I'm sounding very serious.
Yeah.
Can we go to more first?
Maybe I should dip my toes back into capitalism. Nuggets.
Like you feel like you can just walk in.
I'm empowered to win right now.
I'm screaming.
I mean, it's just a sign that I know my stuff.
It's obvious. It's showing.
I know my stuff.
We've talked about the things you can see, but we also want to know like the red flags, right? This one, once you see it in a potentially senior hire, you are just like, this is a red flag, and we're not going with this.
Okay, so that's interesting because I often think, again, maybe because before you get to that stage, we have things that will point you out. But I often think that most senior people, I mean, that's why they are senior, they have required soft skills, required technical skills. So except there is like an unconscious red flag, like that one that I just gave, or there is, also sometimes interest does not align. Sometimes you just know that this person is coming to your company for personal reasons,
Yeah.
which are not negative, but personal reason might be, I want to carry on my CV.
Yes.
So that's a red flag. That's one of the red flags.
Sometimes
I get
because,
that actually.
so if I'm looking for someone
I'm
that
asking,
will
I want you to expatiate on that.
yeah, for example, if I'm looking for someone to join me for like 18 months, I will not mind. But if I'm looking for someone to lead the direction of something, I remember that when I was at Carrywise, we were interviewing for a finance manager. And like, we had never had a finance manager before. And the whole idea was because even one of his co-founders was like a finance person. But he didn't want to do the finance part of the organization because he wanted to focus on bigger things. And so I remember that we interviewed 4 candidates at the final stage, and all of them were competent. But the person we hired, very interesting. She's a single mom. She's a JW.
Oh, okay.
That answers everything I need about the finance manager.
Oh.
Because she's a home manager.
Wow.
I mean,
she's managed the home and everything. And you understand JW's perspective to
that makes sense. That makes sense.
To numbers, to like, it wasn't like I said, if someone had called me the next day to say I need a finance manager, I would recommend one of the 3 other guys.
Yes.
But for her, like, it was just
yeah.
And then she was also looking to move to an hybrid. So she had worked with First Bank, like all these corporate. So she was looking to move to a place where she can innovate. As against being a clog in the wheel of process. Then she was also looking for a flexible environment because of her 2 kids.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Carrywise provided that because you don't have to clock in by 8. You can I'm just come in at 2 p.m. and go at 9 p.m. Come in by 2 p.m. go by 5, whatever works for you, right? So Carrywise also sort of met our own expectations. So
that makes sense.
But you so they're not a list of
so they're not exactly list again.
Because again, it's supposed to be sort of practical. I'm trying to see like scenarios where you can just tell that this is not good, and it's not a bad thing outside of the context, but for you it's just like this hire, if this person behaves like this, then it's a red flag in this context.
Okay, so I think I was on a podcast recently. It was hosted by Gen Z. So I'm like, Gen Z's like 3 tips, 4 tips. So let's
wow. Are you something else?
Let's no,
I'll have you know I'm in
So let's say 4 tips. 1, because it's a senior hire, they definitely have definite goals. So to their short-term goals, forget long-term, forget 5 years. By the way, I don't ask people because I don't know what I want to do.
I think it's a ridiculous question.
I don't know what I'll be doing tomorrow.
I know they even answer.
But do their like short-term goals align with yours? For example, just a time that I wanted to hire a data analyst, and the person was doing masters, I was doing PhD. And I remember my CEO was like, but boy, smart, but I go confused, right? It literally means that this guy is very smart, but he's not confused. Because why are you a data person and you're doing PhD? So he was not doing PhD in data, by the way. He was doing PhD in his bachelor's was in agric something. Then his master's was in, I think, poetry and something. And then his PhD was in something related. But like technically, the guy actually had like a trajectory of data.
Oh, okay.
So the question is, why do you have this technical journey that is averagely successful, and you're still pursuing? If you're doing a PhD in data and algorithms something, I will not mind. Data and AI, I will not mind. But what is agric?
So would it have been wiser for him to have probably withheld that information?
Yes, actually.
So
it might have been like LD. How is that alignment of goals? Where is that person at the moment? Secondly, it might stand distance, but for a culture like Nigeria, it sounds very personal, but it's also very important. Where is the person at in terms of migration and in terms of like family? Right. So for example, just the time that we interviewed someone whose wife and first son were in Germany already. So, like, how much do you want to pay you to keep you away from your wife?
You would leave eventually.
You just want to, like, do it. And, like, I remember I owed him, like, a specific feedback. That, hey, like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Love you.
We love you, but this role requires, because you're literally building out a pipeline. So, that's second. The third would be very minor behavioral consequences. Like the one I talked about, the person that, was answering guy when a woman was asking.
Especially in the context of what the company values. your core values.
Right. Yeah. So that's just alignment of behavioral values. So those are like
fair. Yeah, I think that.
I like that actually. Thank you for pressing it. Pressing that orange juice just came out now. Pressing it.
This is like a one. Please can you not ask me an HR question again? The other part of my life. This is like an hour masterclass in HR that you might get it for free. If you do not subscribe and share this podcast, I will show up in your
You are so real for that. You are so real
You are
for
getting
that.
free knowledge. What do you mean? Anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a sign to go and book a 1 hour consultation.
That's right.
Your life will change afterwards.
Woo. I love the it's so confident. It's like your life. It's not me. It's not
My life is changed right now. So
these are my living witnesses.
Yeah.
Even our
if you need
director
testimony,
is-
just see directors are doing. It just did not end money.
director
Time
nuggets.
I'm not sure that they were there.
For like 10 minutes after you said that something productivity, he was like, whoa, like
Nah, this guy is happy.
love it. Love it. So we have a question,
Yeah.
but this one is not our question. We have more questions for you, but this one is from our community members.
Oh, cute. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we have people writing, and yeah, it says, "My name is Tunde, and I am a mid-level software engineer at a startup in Lagos. I've been in this role for a couple of years now, and I feel ready to move into a senior position. However, I'm struggling to get notice for promotion. Despite consistently meeting my targets and even leading a few successful projects, I feel like I'm being overlooked. I've tried discussing my career goals with my manager, but the feedback I receive is often vague and doesn't provide a clear path forward. I'm starting to feel frustrated and uncertain about my future here. What steps can I take to make a stronger case for promotion and ensure my contributions are recognized?" I think you have touched on this in a way, but if you feel like there's anything that can be tailored, you can add to that.
Yeah, so an additional thing to the things that I've highlighted in
Yeah.
documents, showing and all that is know the company's capacity. So I give this feedback when I'm talking about
I
pay.
love that.
So I give this feedback when I'm talking about like pay compensation.
Yeah.
But it might also work in terms of like career progression.
Yes.
So when you are in like a mid role, for instance, so you've been there say 4 years. First question, the person that was your manager, how long has the person been there?
Yes.
Right. This person looks like he's leaving anytime soon.
Because when they go put
I
you,
always say this
when they
thing.
go put you,
Because
So one of the reasons why I love startups is, and I really enjoyed my pretty short time at Big Carbon, is just the opportunity to grow. So if you're not growing in a startup, there's a big problem. Because you can literally expand laterally, vertically, or horizontally.
Yeah.
what?
There are people that just say they want
Just
to
they do ali
there are people that say they want to do like content marketing and that's all they do. Different kind of content marketing.
Yeah.
And there's some people that go from content marketing to content marketing manager
Yeah.
to product marketing manager.
Yeah.
So you can grow like this, you can grow like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're not growing,
There's a problem.
so you,
on-
like my first thought is actually like leave. Like
Yes.
document, rework your resume, rework your LinkedIn, join top communities. You know, I feel like software engineers are in high demand.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not, I've tried to ask myself, it's like an illusion. But it's not an illusion because like I'm in the space. So even people, I see how people pick up contract projects.
Yes.
Roles that like support are more difficult. Before you think about one marketer, you already think about 3 engineers. Right, so like dust up your resume, dust up your LinkedIn, realign your profile. If you have to talk people to like brand you up, well, I do not think so. The company is not even being unfair to you. Maybe your manager is being unfair to you, might not be transparent.
Yes.
But I do not think the company is even being unfair to you. It's just there's no capacity
For it.
for you
I get
to
it.
grow.
Right. Thank you so much for that. That actually makes sense. So we're going to the rapid fire session. It's quick
Dun,
go.
dun, dun.
No.
Sounds like bullets.
No think about it like.
Drip.
I actually don't play chess, but
That's what I do.
are you doing rapid fire for me?
Because what do you ask now?
Yeah. It sounds like everyone to put me shoot.
You go run through. Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah.
Watch the game at home or in the stadium?
In the stadium.
Of course.
I never done before, sure. Go provide me.
Ew. Don't worry, very soon. Video calls or emails?
Emails. I like writing.
Oh.
The poetry part is coming out. And you said we shouldn't say it. Anyway, sneakers or shoes?
Sneakers, I'm right.
Jack will stay in Nigeria.
my next employer.
Oh my god! It was like we called him in 4K. Like what a crook.
So I might stay in Nigeria. I think the emphasis on that moment.
Such an HR thing to say.
Yeah.
Diplomatic. Okay, wristwatch or shades?
Wristwatch. I love wristwatch.
Interesting.
I really
You
do love
see, guys.
Oh yeah.
I literally called him the bunch because he was about to wear it.
He's a wear the two.
Yeah. But I really love. I mean, my wrist is like once in a blue month.
Okay, fair enough.
Even if my wristwatch is not working, you should send me wear wristwatch.
Sorry for that.
This one, you better answer the one you are. Playlist or podcast?
Playlist.
Azam. Azam. That is very. Let me tell you, your character is bad. And you are
Prayer now.
Go and do. You know what? You're never exam. Go and do your playlist.
So it's interesting. So I started listening to podcasts in 2021. So I now have like podcast in my like routine.
This podcast, even though it has not been released, it's on your
Immediately, guys, I will follow.
It will enter.
Okay, you have redeemed yourself. Okay, that's fine.
There's on the path to redemption. Okay, which now? Okay.
You guys on Twitter? I think I follow you guys. Are you on Twitter?
Yes, now.
Yeah.
In context pod.
Yes.
In context _pod.
So I'm going to tweet about it.
Oh, you're so real. Thank you.
Movies or series?
If it's K-drama series.
I knew it. I was gonna call it. But
Yeah, so it's K-drama
It
series.
stays true.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Freelance or 9 to 5?
I like the structure that comes with 9 to 5.
So that means you checking out.
Yes.
You checking out of capitalism. You just stop having.
Oh no, so the goal is to make it like 10 years. Like so, I'm giving myself time.
10
So after that,
years.
10 years.
Just see in the front though.
I want to like make enough money, stock equity, cash
Ooh.
to the extent that like if I now like get out of that structure, and in like 10 years time I will also have a lot of structure personally. Yes, so I'll go to
Fair
the like.
Okay.
Like it's tomorrow that.
Don't mind.
What's it?
Yeah,
I
follow
thought we were rubbing shoulders.
Don't follow anybody to
10 years, not
anything.
today far like that. Obari was here 8 years. Do you remember?
Oh God. We don't like sad news.
I was gonna say affliction shall not be rise. I realized.
I think you don't like let's continue.
Please.
I digress.
Yeah, let's come
There are
back
two
to
more.
this.
Cook or order food?
Other food new.
Now wow. Yeah, you shout there, Kiadi.
Chowdeck, please come and sponsor us, Chowdeck. I'm doing PR for you people. Chowdeck, come and sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah, last
I'm a big fan
one.
of Chowdeck. Yeah.
Notion of Google Suits.
Notion, of course. I was thinking that.
That is very bad of you.
That's bad of you.
So I was thinking that you do Notion or Coda.
No.
Notion of oh God, you're not the exact one.
Yeah, so
pick
Notion.
the right answer. Say Google. Let me hear you.
Google actually. Oh no, so like of course Notion is very complicated. I like
But
it.
you just said Notion.
Yeah, so
I'm glad you know it's complicated.
it's
Because
complicated.
those of us that we are neurodivergent, that
We
we
just want somebody
actually
to move to
neurodivergent
Google
is a broad spectrum. But those of us with ADHD.
Yeah.
Excuse me. She's
Notion is not.
She's not into Notion at all.
I honestly
Yeah.
no.
So that's why
I don't know. Like
Google Suite.
here's
And then-
an organizational tool to make organization much more difficult. That's how I feel about Notion.
Well,
I know.
So-
I mean, I know that it's definitely useful for quite a ton of people. I just don't think it's very friendly for my brain.
but yeah, for your brain. So
Yeah.
I feel like I've used Coda. Of course, everybody uses Google Suite, right? So I've used Coda and Notion. So the debate is actually between Coda and Notion. Like if you ask her,
So what did they try to tell us now?
Google.
They say we not sabi set the
Don't mind them. We know why we put them down.
Okay, yeah. So Google Suite when instead Google Suite.
Hey, I would have exiled you just now. I will come up to your teachers.
I am sorry.
Yeah,
I pay obeisance. You know.
Anyway, good. That is the last part of
Yes.
our rapid fire questions.
That was cute. That was.
Yeah, it was very cute. So now I think this question is very get to your heart.
Oh. Okay.
So, you know that your HR, that's actually my friend that did this video. Your HR is not your best friend. Your HR is not your
Tony-
best buddy.
Tony Lucas.
No one telling HR what he spent, what he did during the weekend.
You're mimicking it.
Just
Tony, let me sub.
I'll just ask her. Oh, when she know that So what are some common misconceptions that you want to dispel about, being in the HR industry?
That your HR is not your best friend.
That was such an easy.
Oh no. So I had a Twitter space earlier this year. I think me, Victor, Yikere, and a couple guys. And the whole idea was like, oh yeah, you wanted to know was there too. Which like, should HR be your best friend? So I think the problem is that it's not a problem. Yeah, it's a perception problem. So HR is a people-facing role.
Yeah.
We face people the most. Like we know about, even if you are, we know about people more than any other role. I used to talk like employees that you see, if you want to beef someone, it's because people have not interacted with finance. Hey, Jesus. My role requires me to interact with finance.
I did interact with finance in my last major 95 role, and oh my god, I was like, if I call her name, she will know. Lola Day. Lola Day.
If you think that finance, if you think HRs are difficult to do, you are not in finance.
Oh my god, I had to make a case for even Biro, but I rate it.
Yeah, so
she was doing her job well.
The reason why HR are always getting the stick is that we interact with people. We literally have no option. We cannot run away. If finance man can be in a company 3 months and you don't even know what, you don't even know idea. Because maybe all the things, all the requisition, for example, go through your manager. You don't have any payroll issue, so. But HR is the one relating to you. Your birthday is HR. Your anniversary is HR. Promotion, demotion, promotion.
HR.
Buy pizza, HR. So I think so.
Tech companies
pizza. You know the sub also. They try to make you happy. You don't like pizza. You like her, you don't like her.
Okay. Take us to the sweets. Take us to the sweets for brunch. Almost increase salary by some percent. Wink.
Don't get us when we used to invest money, go to buy. Shut down 3 years ago. Anyway.
Valid, but we would have had a good time. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Find us, can you see employees? Okay, so back home. So I think you should not be best friend with the office of the HR.
Right. Okay.
If the HR is your friend outside work, good. But the office of the HR is not your friend. The office of the HR exists to empower you to do the best work, enable you to do the best work, and ensure that you do the best work.
Sorry, did you see me doing emu just now? Because me, I know HR is for the company.
And which is why it's very important that
I feel like you're coming there.
Yeah. So another thing that exists is that we should know that there's a generational shift. So there's a way that our daddies and mommies do HR. And there's a way that from like 2015, 16, 17, 18, and like I'm even very happy with like this current HRs, like this Gen Z HRs. I feel like they are going to make like life very interesting for founders, right? Because they are not ashamed to say, Mr. Founder, sorry sir, this thing that you want me to do, oh bless you, I'm not ready to do it. Are you going to keep these people, or do you want me to resign and sign them? I feel like that's the kind of HR we are now having. Like I see them on Twitter and I'm super excited. Like just about how much they are talking about. Now waiting they see every day with this, no be just fire what they do. I think it was Felix Bisson that tweeted that he went to save a employee from the police station. And like people were like, HR used to do this for me.
HR has done that for me. Oh, yeah, we were on the
arrested.
Wait,
we need to do never ever. Wait. Never ever slept in fancy.
Allow me to join. I thought we were a team.
And you follow him, will go with you. Two of you will go. Answer the question.
Anyway, I was saying that. So we were on a company outing, right? And then the police car stopped. The police stopped the car and did not let us go because we made a video. And then they were really screaming at we just really call HR because now send us message.
Like twice is up. First one, Taslim, I catch you.
Anyway. He's actually my friend Taslim. Oh my god.
Yeah, I have to tell him to take off his dreads, man. Because it's one of the reasons why my phone is never on silent till today. That's why I called me at 2 a.m. I was like, okay, that's not calling me at 2 a.m. Something's up. I just picked. My brother was like, why are you picking it? It's my employee. That's my job. That's my job. At 2 a.m. I said, hello. Now you be Emmanuel. I said, yes sir. Good morning sir. Oh, and we get a sleep for here. He said they work for your company. I said, yes sir. I'm the HR of the company sir. Like so. Very, very, very interesting stuff. I was telling someone when like all this landlord single ladies issue happened, I think I made a tweet about how I cannot count the number of female. No, not female.
Oh.
I just have to make a joke. I'm sorry, allow,
yeah. Like I can't count how many landlords I've called to say, hey, you know. So we even at Carrywise we had like a relocation assistance policy. So there are some cases where we actually like pay the employees' rent, right? So I call the landlord and say, there's even one that I had to send my ID card. It was so ridiculous to me. I never sent ID card from my apartment. It's safe, but like I had to like just send ID card, say, hey, you know, like I'm legit, that kind of stuff, and she doesn't have to like worry about rent because the company pays. So that's one red flag. Another thing is HR obviously from what I've said does beyond like hiring and firing. I've talked a lot about strategic planning, succession planning, just all the high level things that we do. I am not going to take away the fact that HR are witches and wizards. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you know.
Because
we go cut that part out.
I'm in WhatsApp communities. Please, that's a very good view. You guys want to put me out? Because I'm in HR communities and like things happen. And someone just responded me. The talent where they work for this one. Wow. There was one, I think it was a trend, it wasn't this year, maybe 2022 or 2023, about one babe who was a virtual call that they called her at 11 a.m. and she said, oh, I'm sleeping, you know, call me back in 2 hours.
11 a.m.?
Yeah. So it was just like of course I'm just saying now, like I just picked the call for an interview. And so she called and I was like, hi, what am I speaking with? This is that. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't have an interview now. Can you call me back in 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's polite.
Yeah.
Because you did not tell her that you were
yes, ahead of time.
And like people are saying, oh, she's job searching. She
should just be on standby.
Excuse me.
What
do you mean? But it just
shows
you how like
most people.
Yeah, so almost. So
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If you insist.
I'm here to defend our badge of honor.
HR in context.
So just because of how HRs have been done before, like the mentality, there's still that generic, you know. Yeah, but we are changing the story. We are changing the narrative. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I would agree though that in your niche you definitely are. You definitely are one of the friendliest HR professionals that I know right now, and it's such a good thing. But honestly, I don't know. Now you're getting the rest. I don't know if in the next 10 years that you give yourself, you will win this battle. But you're trying as a soldier. More grease to your elbow. But yeah, anyway, it's been a really great time. You are so right. This was, quite a masterclass. It's been amazing talking to you. Yeah, thank you so much.
I hope I finished asking all your questions.
Wow, you enjoyed it so much. You know what to go. But yeah, we'll do like another, this one will be Twitter trend chat. We'll tell you people to ask you anything. You go
yes, actually,
we'll do that one too.
Maybe that's
it. Do you want people to find you anywhere? Because you've been talking about.
Oh yeah, Emmanuel Faith on LinkedIn, Emmanuel Faith on Twitter. You want to see my fine face, the Emmanuel Faith on Instagram too.
Yeah.
I feel like it goes by Twitter very well. Like it has everything you need to know.
Okay, it really does.
I have a life outside HR, so.
Especially K-drama and football.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of K-drama and I watch a lot of films.
And you will always do threads about, oh my god, this HR lesson I'm learning.
Yeah, I'm sharing one this evening.
Yes.
Marry my husband, yes. Yeah.
No, wow.
This weekend.
So when you should marry.
But yeah.
You don't watch K-drama?
Oh, you not, but I do. See, I'm just managing.
How are we friends?
I just manage.
You go so good.
I'm managing. Go out.
So there's a way that like friends just like
making it
because I don't watch.
I do watch once in a while, but it's not really constant.
But really importantly, guys, if this conversation has been meaningful for you, you've been thinking about transitioning from one phase of your career to the next, and you want, I'm sure there are a lot of practical tips, and these insights in this conversation should definitely help you put pen to paper about the next steps you want to take. And if you need a worksheet that can help you do that, you should definitely visit our website. We have a worksheet that's very, very detailed, and you can use that to kickstart your journey towards figuring out your career in context. And preparing for the next steps you'll be taking.
Every time you say that one in context, in my head just be that's right. That's us.
Thank you guys again. My name is Joanna, but you can always call me Jo. And thank you so much for tuning in to In Context Podcast, proudly powered by Old School Africa.
Don't forget to subscribe. If you thought I would forget, don't forget to subscribe and share. Just do all those sweet things. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.